Hey everybody. So I'm gonna be real short because I've been working it out today. It's been kind of these appointments this week has been real. So um basically I went to get an EMG. So basically they test your nerves and muscles to see like how they communicate and to make sure like you don't have anything affecting something else that's causing pain. So it came back normal, thank God. However, like it's so close to the nerves that it's not affecting it thus far. So I can kind of slow down on the surgery. Um, so that was very helpful right there. Thank God because I was like, oh Lord, listen. About these hands and these extremities. Come on now, let's go ahead and work this out. Get a little bit, let's get some other opinions involved before we just like say we gonna go ahead and knock this surgery out. Cause I'm not a fan of surgery. As y'all know, from 2020, that was the worst experience in my life. So I'm doing everything that I can possibly do. So I have some more appointments coming up, possibly an abrasion where they kind of I guess, deaden the nerves, if I'm saying it correctly. So we're going to try that option. We're going to have a consultation about that. Talk to the doctor, see what those options look like. See if that will work. If that works, then that at least give me some relief for now. I still got a couple more things that would like to do before I have to like really go out on surgery. Um, and then so that was a blessing. This is all been happening all this week. Doctor appointments for myself, doctor appointments for my mom, stuff like that. So it's been like a back and forth type deal. Of course, like her appointments have slowed down, mine have increased because of this pain has, kicked in. But I do have some time to kind of like think about my options at this point for the surgery. Um, it would be like I said a disc replacement, so definitely something versus the fused. I don't want anything fused. I have talked to a couple people about the fused, and I don't want anything that I gotta be fused and tied up together. So let's at least have some flexibility so I can still move normally. um Now let's kind of fast forward a little bit. Let's talk about these some of these men out here. I'm sorry guys, if you are a fan, my apologies. It's not geared to every man, but some of the men out here, I don't know if for whatever reason that you think by telling somebody that you want to get married to them or that you want to do something or spend this lifetime with them that that's what you think this young lady or this woman wants to hear. I have, of course, I'm not almost in my 40s, but I can say 20, 30 years ago when I was young and thought I wanted to get married and, thought the world of what marriage was and how it looked like. I really did. I was like, oh, I'm going to be somebody's wife, this and that. And then I realized that I had a lot to work on for myself. I had a lot of inner things, and I still do have some inner and some outer stuff that I'm working on along the way. But I have learned now that in the dating area, that I'm not trying to waste no time. I don't want to be in no relationship, no, 5, 6 year, 10 plus years, and then it's like nothing is happening here. Because there's some young man or somebody out there, whatever your preference is, that wants to make you their significant other, their spouse, their person. And it's kind of, it saddens me that people will go through these changes with people, spend all these years with them, get settled and used to them, and then all of a sudden it's just like, That's not what I want to do." What wait a minute. Then it's the "I'm so sorry for wasting your time," speech. But you knew this the first 2 or so years into the relationship that you knew that you didn't want to get married. You knew that I was not that person. You knew that that was not even on your list of things to do. And I feel like if you know that that's not on your list to do, then why are you wasting people's time? I don't get it. What? So you can get the free goodies and this and that. You can get a free meal and you can have somewhere to lay your head. Like I don't understand this. And even some of the older guys, like some of them will say the same little stuff that the younger guys will say. Oh, yeah, I see us in da 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 years, and we gonna do this, this, and this. But then, as a person, you haven't worked on your stuff that you need to work on and get yourself in order. Like, how are you having these dreams and goals, and then you're not even helping complete the goals that you need for yourself to improve yourself as a person, to better yourself so that you can be a good husband or you can be that person. I'm not saying that anybody out there is perfect. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you don't take a look at yourself first, how can you take a look at someone else being this person for you? How can you go throughout your journey and just be like, you settle for this BS? I'm so tired of settling for BS and people talking this BS and trying to make it seem like this is what I want to hear. No, this is not what I want to hear. I would like to hear that you are trying to have goals for yourself and that you are achieving and you're working just as hard as I am. If you're not working hard like I am, then what are you doing? Like I don't even understand. Like the guys nowadays, they're not empathetic anymore. They don't have no type of like understanding about certain things. They feel like this is what it is. You knew this when you got in the no, no, and no, because I don't do that to you and say, well, you knew what it was when you got in it with me. No. So don't try to make it seem like I supposed to get all of the backlash and the baggage that comes with you, because the baggage that I have is probably really light compared to the baggage that you are bringing into this lovely relationship. And I just be like, I don't get it. I don't understand how you can waste other people's time. And look, I get it. We all are in different journeys and different walks of lives and trying to figure out stuff that we are trying to figure out for ourselves and for our partners, if you have a partner. But at the same time, it's like, what, sometimes you have to walk away from situations and say, let this journey be this lesson for this season. And sometimes you have to take a break from these relationships so that you can find who you are and what you want to be and how you want to grow and what's best for you. If you are chasing a dream or a goal and this other person is not doing nothing or they're not chasing anything, what are y'all doing? If both of y'all are chasing something, at least chase it together and then y'all build from that. But if y'all not on the same page or if you are on a different level than that other person, then it just makes no sense to continue to keep, feeding into the nonsense. For what? This is nonsense. Like, we have low tolerance for stuff that's inconsistent, not gonna be consistent, not gonna keep their word, not gonna do what they say they gonna do. Like, we have low tolerance for that now. And I don't know if it, same for women. Like, and men should have the same, no tolerance for certain stuff. If you are on BS, then why are we doing this? What is the whole purpose? If you feel like you done got yourself into something that you don't understand why you into it, then what we doing? Like, I look, I try to tell myself this every day. This a new day to try to wipe away the old stuff that happened the day before. And if I can't wipe away the stuff from the day before, then that means I have a problem that I need to work on. But once I started wiping away that stuff and I started to, try to change the cycles and try to, fulfill stuff that needs to be fulfilled, things start to turn around. Like right now, looking at it, I just got accepted into my doctorates in health sciences. I start in January. Yes, I am still, on the wait list for PA school, but looking at looking at everything as a whole, I'm like, why not? Let me try. Like I had tried to get into the Masters of Medical Science so I could get like those lab courses knocked out or completed, or at least to show like, look, my math or my sciences are improved tremendously from my undergrad. That was not the option or the case for me. So now, I'm like, all right, what else can I do? So I decided to look into the program. How I found out about the program, I actually was trying to do a dual enrollment. So the dual enrollment included the health science doctor's degree along with the PA program and degree. And at the time, I'm like, all right, cool, 3 years, I can do that, not no problem. Well, um, after the school had did the evaluation, they were like, well, you would be accepted in the doctorate program, but the doctorate program is 3 years compared to the year if you would have gotten accepted in PA school. So that was like a downer because then it was like 3 years plus I gotta, go back to school and try to get a PA. 5 years, it's too long. Not doing it. So I kept on and researched, and then I found this program, very reasonable, not too expensive, probably about the same amount as my master's program, maybe a little bit more, but give or take, it's not too bad. Like I wouldn't be too much in debt, but I would be in debt, of course. Um, but I also looked at it as, like, let me, get my doctorates in. So then I'll be done with that part. Only thing that I would really be working on is the PA and, studying, getting certified and stuff like that. And actually looking into a job that I would want to do and be good at doing. And like I said, in the past, I've always liked doing and wanting to be a neurosurgeon. And, looking at neurology and stuff like that, I'm like, man, this is like a booming field right here. Looking at like dermatology and just other different things to, stuff that I deal with, looking into those areas. Like, let me see, if I can educate myself more, educate my patients more, do things in the community that would help them learn about their bodies, their skin, their hair, about their brain, how it works, and tying all of that stuff into one, thing. But, it's so hard to, be a person that's goal oriented versus someone that's not, or someone that's always procrastinating so badly. Like, my past relationships, most of them were procrastinators. I had one person I can say that was not a procrastinator. He did and thought pretty much on the same wavelength as I did. And, it was so hurtful that, like it didn't work out. Like I wasn't, I didn't become his wife. I didn't, have his kids or any of that. Like all of that was hurtful because I spent, 5, 6 years, 6 years or whatever in this relationship thinking, I done did my undergrad. I'm trying to work to get here. I'm trying to do this, and this. I'm trying to get everything in order so that we don't have to like, be suffering or, having to want for anything. And then it just, bam, hit me so fast. And it was like, like we're not on the same page. And I don't know if I had settled. I don't know if I, felt like I was not good enough in that season for him at that time, and it could have been a lot of different things that was happening with my thinking. But I can say, I learned a lot from that relationship. I learned a lot from, going and working and trying to talk to other people and communicate about relationships and talking to people who have been in abusive relationships or unhealthy relationships or toxic relationships or the narcissistic people that were controlling, and all of these different attitudes and behaviors. And I was like, dang, like what is going on? And in my mind, I'm like, I don't want a dysfunctional relationship, and I don't want a relationship that I am just sitting here waiting, trying to figure out, if twirling my thumb, if you want to marry me, or if you want to continually waste my time. So when I say, like, people, when you are setting out in the dating world and setting out there and trying to pick these people that you think are potential beings for you, like literally, you know, and it don't have to do any, you don't have to, like, write everything down on the list, but at least be specific about what you are asking for. If you know that you want a man to be prompt, someone that's thoughtful, distinguish that, like map that out and what that looks like to you. If you want someone that has great conversation, map that out so you can have that. Like my last relationship that, before this one, my current one, I can say like the conversation was there. He could talk about anything. Sometimes I didn't even know if he used the words correctly or not, but he was a talker. He was a reader. He liked reading. He talked. He was a salesperson. And it was like we just somehow fit in an odd way, though we were so toxic together. So toxic to the point that it was so sick how at the end we somehow still was able to get along halfway decently. And it was so toxic to the point that, like, I didn't even know if I enjoyed the toxicity behind what was going on, or if it was just like a thrill to be like, oh my gosh, like we just suck together, but somehow we work together in different instances. When I say, like, I probably won't never get that type of conversation ever again. I probably won't never get that type of being unless, something happens and then it's like that conversation comes back. But when I say, sometimes the lack of communication can hurt a relationship. Sometimes because you guys are on two different pages, your thinking level is different. So when you think, or you try to brainstorm different pieces of the puzzle, it don't always fit. Sometimes it just doesn't fit. Sometimes it's just, what do I need to do differently? So I don't know. I just came out here real quick to kind of like do a quick, you know, discussion about, like, stop wasting people's time. Stop trying to sell the idea of something that you don't want. Stop trying to linger people along thinking that, oh, we got something good. Y'all might look good together outside in the public. Y'all might dress and compliment one another. Y'all might have fun with each other. But besides having fun all the time, like, what are the goals that you both are trying to do? Are y'all both trying to, be at this point in life? Are y'all trying to do this, and this? Are y'all trying to get a house? Are y'all trying to have kids? Are y'all trying to be married, not married, with kids? Like, pets, no pet. Like, having that discussion is real. And we don't have as many discussions like this because, most men, or some men, don't do a lot of talking. And then the ones that do a lot of talking say that you're talking at them. So then when you're talking at them, or, not like talking about stuff that interests them, now they don't want to have a conversation with you. If you bring up something that's an issue that you feel is an issue to you, now that's a problem to them, because now they feel like, well, you're complaining, or you're this and that, and vice versa. But at the same time, if you sit down and listen to one another and really, like, pay attention to the stuff that one doesn't like, what you don't like, what you start picking out when you start getting irritated from, settling or being in this cycle, because that's what it is. It's a cycle that keeps going and going. It keeps going and going and going.